It's been I guess, like everyone always says, a very long pre-season, but how happy are you to finally know that it's over and that round one's around the corner?
Yeah, it's always good to get into the games. As you say, pre-season can be long and boring, but with the course over the pre-season, I've been very happy with the way the boys have tracked along, and very eager to get out and see how we match up tomorrow.
You've had a lot of time to prepare, but how would you assess, I guess, the preparations overall leading into round one?
It's always difficult for us in pre-season, just the quality of games that we can get in pre-season. And we've had a few more this year than what we did last year, so I'm very happy with the performance of the boys. When we look at our data, we've improved a lot where we were this time last year. So hopefully we can get a lot better start to the season than what we did last year.
One of the most, I guess, common questions we've had in the last few weeks is around Craig Goodwin. He spoke to me yesterday and basically put his hand up and said he's ready. What are your plans for him? Obviously I don't want to give too much away, clearly, but what are your plans for him? And he obviously has made the trip over. Can we expect to see him partake in some capacity?
Yeah, Goody will definitely play tomorrow. It's a very similar pre-season for him as it was last year. He didn't do any pre-season last year with us last year, and started with the games. And you look at the season that he had last year. It was the best season that he's ever had for the club. So hopefully that can repeat again this year. But Goody this week at training has looked excellent. He looks very fresh and ready to go.
Is it a bit of a risk putting him in even for a little bit, or are you confident in his body, how it's reacted to treatment, and also the advice you've been given from the medical team?
No, we're very confident. We've always, from the beginning of when Goody got this injury, we've always, the rule was to get him ready for round one. We weren't worried about any of the pre-season games. We know the quality that he's got, and Goody can, play. And our job was to get him ready for round one, and we've done that, and he's fit to go.
I said the Goody question was probably the most common one we had. The second one of the last week's been around Musa Toure. We've seen what Toure's can do for this club and in the league before. For those that haven't seen Musa, he's obviously made the trip over, but for those who haven't seen him play for our youth team, what can we expect from him, and do you have plans potentially to I guess, use him at all?
Yeah, look, it depends on how the game goes. As you say, Musa's still very young. It's more, we've brought him in this pre-season to train with a group, just to give him the exposure of what it needs to be a professional player. He's still, as I said, very young. He's an exciting player. He's a very good dribbler with the ball and attacks players. So we'll just see how the game pans out, whether we can give him some game time.
When we've spoken in the past throughout this pre-season, following friendlies and things like that, you said you and the coaching staff wanted to make a couple of tweaks in the football we've played. We're obviously going to be without Roshi Basuki tomorrow through suspension because of the red card in the Australia Cup. Is that going to impact anything, considering he is, our main number 9, or are you still confident the rest of the boys, whoever comes in, is going to fill that role perfectly? Yeah, very confident. George Blackwood has had a great pre-season, and he'll fill that role. He's quite a similar player to Roshi as well. So there's no changes in what we've worked with Hiroshi playing that position to George. What about Wellington? Again, it's difficult to get a gauge on every club in the pre-season. Pre-season friendlies aren't publicised or public viewing or anything like that. But how much do you know about Italia's side, and what can we expect from them?
It's a little bit unknown to us. They've got 5 or 6 new players in their starting 11 from last year. Some new foreigners that no one sort of knows anything too much about. So it's going to be, we're prepared to. They play the same sort of style. That's what we're expecting, and that's what we've prepared for. And we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out tomorrow.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This will be the first game you coach over in Wellington for the club.
Yes, it is. Yep, it's the first time we've travelled over this way.
What kind of a reception are you expecting? What kind of atmosphere, I suppose? It's been a while since we were last here, and I think a while since Wellington actually played a competitive fixture.
Yeah, I expect it to be a little bit hostile. I expect the Wellington fans to come out and support their team because they haven't played home matches for a long time. So it's important for us that we start well, try to take their fans out of the game, and play an attacking game against them.
And just lastly, we'll have a bit of a run on the park today, training here in Wellington. Is that just a matter of ticking the legs over after a long commute yesterday, or will it give you a chance to assess the squad again before making a final decision on a starting 11 for tomorrow?
Oh, as you said, it was a long trip yesterday. We trained early yesterday morning in Adelaide, and then got into Wellington last night at midnight. So it's more or less just to get some the rubbish out of the players' legs from the long travel, and just freshen them up a little bit.
All the best for tomorrow, Carl.
Thank you.